What's going on, everybody? My name is JD, and today we are going to be learning a little bit more about the Weaver. I hope you are ready. Yes! Today we're going to be talking to Folarin Oyekan. I know I said that wrong. If you think you know how to say it, please let me know in the comments. I'd be really happy to hear that. So we start our conversation. New student, are you? No, you're a visitor. Students all want to change the world. You look like you've already been out in it. We have that in common. Are you an elementalist? Yes, no, maybe, both? Technically, yes, but I've been trained as a weaver, so I'm not what you'd expect. What's a weaver? Long ago, a man named Master Sasuke traveled the region, earning the favor of the Jin in exchange for their knowledge of elemental magic. And they taught him something new? Jin, he found, split their focus, controlling their element and their physical being at the same time. But we are not Jin. We don't need to control our physical being. So what good does that do you? Master Sasuke learned to split his focus like Jin do, but he used it to harness control of multiple elements at once. He became the first weaver. I'm curious about something else. Of course, we're in a school. What better place to learn new things? What sort of weapons do you use? I prefer a sword, but I can wield anything your run-of-the-mill elementalist can wield. A sword, doesn't that make you more vulnerable in a skirmish? Only if you don't know how to use it. I also have special versions of stance abilities that help me maintain my positioning. I'm curious about something else. Why is it called weaving? We can wield an element in each hand and then weave both elements together into devastating attacks. So, weaving. Though my primary element is still in my main hand. I'm curious about something else. What are you doing around the school? The Jin nearby have been restless. I've been monitoring their actions, but it looks like they're just anxious. I wish I could convince them we're here to help. Why? What does it matter to you? It's what we do. Weavers watch the desert, taking dangers head on and helping out where we can. We go looking for trouble, you might say. Then we find it and stop it. And then the conversation just repeats. The Weaver seems like a really interesting class, and their history might actually go a little further back in Guild Wars 1 lore than we might initially realize. So there's a couple things I want to get at. So first, I want to point out that the Weaver's elite specialization NPC was actually moved in this past Halloween patch. Originally, this character was on the roof of the Vintendi Academy, but in the last patch, ArenaNet decided to move this character from the roof to one of the below tunnels. So I find this actually really interesting because, as we just heard, what this Weaver is actually trying to do is trying to calm down the Jin. Apparently the Jin are anxious about something. What he's trying to do is calm them down, but if you sit there long enough, literally every Jin who appears, this NPC just goes up and pretty much just murders them on the spot. He just, as soon as he sees a Jin, he just goes up and kills them and then walks back to his spot. And they kind of keep coming out. And it's interesting that, you know, he's saying like, oh, I wish the Jin would trust us and understand that we're here to help. And as soon as they show up, he just goes over and just like hacks them down. In his new location, you find him down in the tunnels, and he's actually helping an injured Jin and trying to protect him from the transformed students that are down there. So it's a little bit interesting. It kind of fits more into what he's trying to do and what he says he's trying to accomplish with his character. And I actually like this change. I'm happy that they did this, because I remember thinking when I recorded this, well, he says he's trying to help, but why is he's just straight murdering these guys? What's up with that? Now let's dig a little bit more into some of the meat of what he said. So he mentions that the first Weaver, the person who created Weaver, was a man named Master Sasuke. Well, digging into the famous Sasukes of Guild Wars 2, I immediately try to say like, okay, they mentioned a name, let's go see if anybody exists with this name. So I want to point out that in Guild Wars 1 and Nightfall, which I have not played and I'm very much considering playing in the near future, we have a hero that we can choose to follow us named Acolyte Sasuke. This person was an elementalist, and he can, if you choose to accept his help, stay with you through the rest of the Nightfall campaign. He actually helps you stop Nightfall from happening. So the thought is you have this Acolyte Sasuke who, as he gets older, becomes Master Sasuke, who eventually will become the first Weaver. After the events of Nightfall, I think that this Master Sasuke went to study and stay with the Jin. He learned a lot of the Jin's techniques about how they have to split their focus in order to keep a physical form, and he used that ability to learn how to become the first Weaver. I think it's pretty interesting that they mentioned this, and I want to throw this out there as a possibility for more character development on him and more ties to Nightfall, which we see sprinkled throughout the entirety of Path of Fire. That's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope you're having an amazing time in Path of Fire. Have a great day. Peace.